alcohol are more likely to engage in other risky behaviors, such as gambling. Learn the warning signs and how to talk to your children about addiction.
It's 21 for a reason. Brought to you by CIRAC and funded in partnership with SAMHSA. Find out more at CIRACCT.org.
Hi, this is Lisa Griffin of Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank. Well, some banks offer checking account rewards, and some banks rebate ATM withdrawal fees. At Eastern, we say, why choose? Check out our Kasasa checking accounts and find out how you can get both. For more information, visit bankeasternct.com, call us at 860-889-7381, or stop by any of our branch locations today. Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank with offices in Norwich, Jewett City, and Plainfield. Member FDIC. Do you, Kasasa?
Hi, Miranda Mahoney here from Grizzle Pride, your local drug prevention coalition. So, marijuana, now legal in Connecticut, but there are some things you really should know. It's only legal for people 21 and older. And always, always secure your cannabis products like edibles, vape pens, dabs, and of course marijuana in a locking storage container and keep it out of sight and of reach of kids. Kids don't know the difference between a THC edible gummy and a candy gummy you might buy at a store. There's many resources available at grizzlepride.org or our Facebook and Instagram pages. And parents, you are your child's greatest influence. Talk early, talk often about the risks of substance use on their developing brains. Check out grizzlepride.org. grizzlepride.org. grizzlepride.org.
Your community radio.
Live from Main Street.
Mike Minarski and Rich Wasilick in the morning. And 80s all day and night.
SNSN.
Well, you certainly are not Rich Wasilick. You are not Rich Wasilick.
Far from it. I got hair.
Hey, dude, you know.
Yeah, I got hair in my head. Not much.
Well, what?
Not much, though.
Yeah. Well, he's usually here on Thursdays.
I know it.
We are here because he had to go on to some assignment.
Yeah. He's on a special assignment.
Rich is on assignment.
Correct.
So
yep.
You are here filling his shoes
Yep,
today.
Bill, those are tough shoes to fill.
Yeah. We weren't here yesterday because I was on assignment yesterday.
Yes, you were.
So I couldn't really do anything.
Yeah, I know.
So
yeah, it's kind of dead around here yesterday.
Oh, yeah. We're downtown. Oh, yeah, right. Oh, that was all right. So what Paul meant by that, as a little bit of an inside joke, one of the things that we do here, you know, from SNSN now, it's not the radio part, but it's just a different service that we have now, and it started during the pandemic, and it's kind of grown from there, where we live stream events, kind of like what you and I are doing right now.
Yep.
But this is a little bit different. This is we're streaming funerals. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that it's interesting, you know, to do. No, yesterday we got to the church, and we literally, myself, Neville, and Rich, we went up and we're right in the foyer. There's the guy. Casket's wide open.
Really?
Yeah, because they had a service going on in the morning.
Oh.
They had mass going on. Now this is yesterday, Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
So we just sit there, you know, for a minute, and there's Peter.
Oh. So what church was this?
It was in Colchester.
Oh, was it the Catholic Church?
I just said mass. Yeah, Colchester.
So it was on the side road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a nice church. Very nice church. It's almost set up like an amphitheater kind of thing. It's really nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, they couldn't move they couldn't move the casket in until the service was done. So we're all sitting out there, and the casket's open.
Did you bring him a coffee?
No, he said he was full. Then we said so that's one of the services that we started doing, which is kind of like a necessary evil kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, and every time I tell somebody about this, they're like, ooh, cringe fest. And it is. It's a little bit cringy, but during the pandemic, people couldn't go to pay their respects to people that have passed
That's true.
because you just couldn't go.
Exactly.
And the only way to really do that was to be able to participate. I mean, look, everybody was participating in Zoom meetings, right? Everybody was doing Zoom meetings. So basically, we did the same thing with services, memorial services. So, but we've worked with the two homes that we work with predominantly are Denoto and Mystic, and Aurora McCarthy in Colchester.
Gotcha.
Now, the people at Aurora McCarthy are really great. I will say that they're nice people. Pat and Sean McCarthy are just really good people.
Oh, cool.
So, and it's business, and we the cool thing, if this had a cool factor, one of the ones we did, this was last year in the summer, and it was a Jewish funeral, and everybody that was watching really was in Israel.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah.
So
well, it certainly makes it accommodating for family or friends who especially live either out of the country, even out of the state, to view the funeral because they want to come. But it's pretty expensive, so that's a good idea.
So now, yesterday, this was streamed back to Uganda. So now this kid that passed away, he was quite the athletic stud.
Was he?
Oh yeah, he went to Bacon Academy, and he played baseball, basketball, and football. Went to Texas A&M.
Oh.
I mean, he was a stud.
Yeah.
I mean, they had coaches there yesterday from other schools and his teammates, and they paid respects to this guy, this kid.
Oh.
I guess he went to Uganda to visit, and he got sick, was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and then he passed.
Oh.
So that was that.
Yeah, I had actually, when I was working, I actually had people from Uganda actually working for me.
Did you?
Yeah, there was a special program they set up to bring them over here and to teach them. And they worked in our company. They were like vendors that they were doing some stuff. But yeah.
Good morning, Victoria. How are you? How's the sound today? Just curious because I had to disconnect everything and reconnect everything. So I'm hoping it sounds okay. Nobody's bitched yet, so that's usually a good sign, I guess.
I guess so. Nothing wrong with that.
Nobody's complained yet.
No, that's good.
Usually people go, "Hey, why you sound like you're in a tunnel? Why does it sound so awful?"
Yeah. Oh well.
So now there's no interaction with me and the family.
No, it's just
none.
Just viewing.
No. My interaction is with the funeral director themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no interaction at all with me and the family.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an interesting service, and it's gotten fairly popular. Yeah. And it's one of those things that we have gone ahead and I asked a couple of the funeral directors that we work with. I mean, it's more than two, but those are the two, the two predominant ones that we work with. And I said before the pandemic was over, I said, "Do you think this is going to end when the pandemic ends?" And they said, "Oh no, this is going to continue."
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Because there are people that are, all over the place that can't come out of the country or even in the country, or older people that can't travel, and
that's true.
So it was good.
Yeah.
Let's see, Joanne McCoy. Hey, Joanne. Good morning. Good to see you. As well, it is good to see you too, Laura. Good, because sometimes it's like, hey. So, what do you guys think about streaming funerals? What's your opinion on that? Deb, good morning. Deb, if you feel comfortable, put in your what you were talking about yesterday on social media, what you're proud of, because I'm damn proud of you, kid. Let's see if that's going to be up to her. That's her story. So
yeah.
But yeah, you should be screaming that from the rooftops.
Yeah. I'm surprised.
There she is. Oh. She just put it in, and she just said celebrated 5 months clean and sober.
Oh, good for her.
So
excellent.
Yep. So she's doing well.
That's tough.
And she says we do recover, and yeah, it is true. And look at that, Pierce. Good morning, Pierce. Welcome to the group. So yeah, so the whole funeral streaming thing, people are like, ew, that's gross. Oh my God. Oh, I get that a lot.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's gross.
Oh yeah. That's a
it's not like you got the casket people right here. It's not like it's open.
Huh?
It's not like the casket's open.
Yesterday. Oh yeah, yesterday was
open. But they're not commonly open.
Oh yeah, they are.
Really?
Yeah. It's not any different. I mean, if you went to a funeral home and the casket's open, just because you're streaming it, they're not going to shut it.
Oh, okay. Because usually when you go to the church, it's closed.
Huh?
Usually when you go to the church, it's closed.
DM Foley says, my cousin streamed my grandma's funeral in December since a lot of family could not travel.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Because otherwise,
we're glad to be a part of it.
Yeah.
We're glad to be a part of it.
Yeah. I mean, why not? So.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think people should do it for some weddings. If a lot of people have family that are from other parts of they can't get here. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Not just for weddings too.
Yeah. Well, and Joanne just put, I would love to see one online. Not everyone can afford to fly from different destinations.
No. Yeah, that's true.
And here's an even more important point. And Laura says, if it's an unexpected death, many people can't afford to travel last minute, but still want to be part of the service.
Correct.
Especially religious services.
Right. Yeah. Basically,
very true. Very true.
You're actually streaming the church.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You don't go to the funeral. You don't go to the cemetery.
Yeah.
You do.
It depends on what the family wants. If the family wants, I mean, I don't want to get into pricing or anything like that, but we can set up multiple locations. Like, so the way it worked yesterday is that they had calling hours and the service right in the church. So you could go there and pay your respects, and then there was a mass.
Yep.
High school sports.
Every day. That right there was all within the church.
Gotcha.
So then we had another setup at the gravesite.
Oh. So
what happened was when the service was over at the church, we just faded right into the one at the gravesite. There was no downtime, where everything shuts down and no.
Yeah. Well, it's probably a little.
So,
I mean, the graveyard's probably a little distance away, right? Was it?
Yeah, it was like 2 miles.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a close one then.
Yeah. I haven't really had one that. Well, most of them are just in the church that we do,
which makes sense.
They're probably less than half.
Yeah.
You don't want you to do both.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I guess it was pretty important because to them because the type of service that they had, it was at the end when the priest gave his speech at the gravesite.
Yep.
They invited anybody to come up to say what they wanted to say, and of course there were a lot of people.
Yep.
So that was able to.
Oh, that's cool. Because normally a lot of people will go to the church, but not necessarily go to the cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brenda, the bonger out in Minnesota, says, I work for funeral services at my church and we stream funerals and weddings. And she says we even will record it for them free. Well, I guess they do that in Minnesota. But in Connecticut, bread, milk, and eggs cost money. So as much as we'd like to do it for free, we can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know that sounds wicked, but
yeah. Well.
And if you'd like to have your funeral stream for free, call Brenda Bongs. She will fly anywhere in the country to do it for you. She'll even pay for her own flight.
Oh. Wow.
You don't think so? You don't think it's morbid or
no,
or cringy or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't either.
No,
I don't either. You know,
I think it's I think the idea is great because, like you said, there's a lot of people out of state can't make it.
Huh? Oh,
oh,
hear that? Welcome to the borough. Here comes my ride. Whoa!
No, it's fire truck.
That's fire today.
Wow. Oh well.
Joanne says it's a service, of course you pay. Yeah, I mean, but it's, you know, we that or it also spun into other things too. Weddings.
Yeah.
You know, people can't make weddings.
True.
You know,
that is true.
You can't make it. Venmo a gift. Watch it online. Everything's virtual these days.
Yeah, and usually the weddings are basically a church ceremony.
Huh?
Usually the weddings probably just a church ceremony, not necessarily the reception.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm afraid to ask. Let's see. Now, one of the things we don't do, because actually somebody thought we did this, is actually do play-by-play.
Play-by-play.
You know, I'm not even kidding you.
Well,
you know?
the coffin's on its way down the aisle.
Oh, it's a beautiful coffin, Paul. Have you seen this one? I've never seen one. And you know what? I think they got this one slightly used. And it's a secondhand unit, but it looks beautiful. Boy, they polished it up right. And there's Fritz. Oh, he looks wonderful. Look at that suit that they put Fritz in. I wonder if he has shoes on.
I wonder if he's got pants on.
Something didn't wear shoes, you know? All right, Madeline. She goes, do you really want to know what's on my mind? Yes, Madeline. I want to know what's on your mind. But no, we don't do play-by-play. We don't do... There's no talk at all. We don't... The only talk is what is, you know, said by, you know, the people during the service.
Sure.
The clergy and family and stuff like that. We don't sit there and go... well, it's a wonderful day for a funeral. You know? Why don't you come in and visit us here at ABC Church, you know? And we're going to talk really low because people are starting to file in. And we don't want to disturb the service.
There's the grandpa. There's the grandma. Being escorted by, oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute, the wrong service.
Oh, no. Look at that person. They just dropped. Hurry, go give them your business card.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for a funeral, no. But there could be some play-by-play for a wedding.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do it.
I know.
Wouldn't do it.
That's a little different. Here comes the father of the bride. Here comes the father of the groom. Oh.
Yeah, Paul, looks like he's lost some weight today, you know, for this, you know.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
Paul looks like he's lost 40 pounds of this. Oh, he's looking really dapper in that new suit.
I wonder what a camera will do. Yeah.
So, Paul, do you think it's going to be, what kind of song do you think they're going to play for Daddy's Little Girl?
Oh, there you go.
You know, or do you think they're just going to do something else?
True.
You know, what about Step Bro? What do you think he's going to do? You think he's going to dance with Stepsis? I don't know. It's like, hey, Step Bro, I'm stuck in this wedding dress. You know? The zipper's stuck. Can you help me?
Yeah. Interesting.
Good morning, Chris Coleman. How are you? So, Madeline, I'm waiting for you to tell us what's really on your mind. So we took the funerals and made it into a sick comedy fest.
I know. Yeah.
I guess that was just clickbait by Madeline. Do you really want to know what's on my mind?
Yeah. I've done at their funerals if they don't actually have a casket, right? Have you done any of those where people are cremated?
Daryl, we're taking questions from the crew right now during funeral services. Daryl wants to know, oh, what cologne is that? Formaldehyde? It's a little strong, Paul. What do you think?
Yeah.
But he's pinked up nice.
Do you do cremations too?
I haven't.
No. Because cremations would be a service after.
Yeah, no, that has not happened.
A lot of times they don't do, the whole. I would think more and more people are being cremated than they are in a casket.
I think you're right. I've heard that too.
Yeah.
I've talked to a couple of funeral directors and they say they're getting a lot of cremations.
Yeah.
Joanne says, I love it when people look in the coffin and they say, oh, he or she looks great.
Yeah.
I don't want to look I don't want to look great when I'm dead. It's because I'm dead.
Look better when you're dead than when you're alive.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I mean, never have I ever heard, two women come up to a cast and go, I wish I would have dated him when I had a chance. Where the hell are we going with this? I don't even know.
Going the wrong way.
I don't want to be buried. I'm afraid of it.
Really?
So, and actually, I had a talk with Tom Leffler about this.
Really?
I said, yeah, I don't want to be buried. And he said, why? You're dead. And I said, I don't know that I'm going to want to get out or push out or something like that. He goes, you're dead. And I said, I don't know. He goes, Mike, you're dead. You won't be. I said, I don't know. How do you know? Have you ever been dead before? So it's like, how do you know?
Yeah.
You don't know. I have, and I think this is probably the biggest problem, is that I have a recurring nightmare or dream where I don't know, it's like the 1800s or whatever.
Yeah. And
I'm in a box and I can actually feel the pebbles getting the dirt being scooped on me.
Wow.
Yeah. And there was a little bit of light and everything, and all of a sudden, gone. And here I am.
Wow. Well, I'm sure that's happened to. That's happened years ago.
Yeah.
That's why they take all the blood out of you now. Because of that, because a lot of people were buried alive. They go into a coma of some type, and
So Joanne just says that was in a past life, and I've always wondered that. If am I having like some sort of past life regression or whatever? Where I was buried alive, and maybe that's why I'm claustrophobic, and I don't want to be buried.
So 1800, huh?
Yeah, it was like I don't know why I even knew that or even feel that, but maybe because it was just this box.
It was probably wood.
It was.
Yeah. Just smell pine.
Is what? No. But I could tell you that the boards went this way.
Well, yeah.
And then there were. But how would I know this?
Because you wouldn't put the boards across. Cross always go a long ways.
Or goes, I'm not dead yet, but you will be. And I mean, all I remember is a couple of things, and then that was it. Then fade to black.
Well, you shouldn't be scared. You've already been there.
Who knows what happens? I mean, everybody has, faith, of what they believe is going to happen. And that's okay. That's good, The
future's going to be silk, not boards.
What? Say it again?
The future's going to be silk. It won't be boards.
Silk?
Yeah, if inside the coffer is silk.
No. I'm gonna be in an urn.
That's the way to go.
I want to be in an urn. You know, I mean, on somebody's mantle so they can play ring toss with me. That's, you know, that's what I would want. I mean, that's like, you know, make me part of a game. You know, I mean, that's what I would want to be.
Yeah.
My oldest daughter said to me one time that there's a process that you can go ahead and you get buried or inside of like an acorn and you become a tree.
Yeah, I suppose that could happen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, you'd be an old hickory.
Oh, hickory dickory dock.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, have you ever been dead before, Paul?
Not that I know of.
No. See, so how do we know?
Well, you have been.
I don't know. It's maybe it's just a dream, you know, and I
think you watch too many-
fixated.
You watch too many movies.
No, I don't. I don't watch a lot of movies at all.
You have to watch something.
And I certainly don't really watch scary movies, and not because I'm scared of them. I just don't like them. They're all right. You know, it's like people go, "Hey, how about Blair Witch?" And it's like, yeah, I'm bored to death with it.
So 1800, huh? So what were you doing?
It was
back
around the
then?
1800s, yeah.
What did you do back then?
I don't know.
You weren't a radio guy then.
No,
Radio wasn't invented.
no. Maybe I was the town crier. I don't know. I have no idea.
Just live in the east or west?
Uh-huh.
Where you live?
I don't know.
You don't know that either.
I don't know any of that.
Oh.
Nope. The only thing that is recurring is seeing sunlight coming through and dirt falling through.
They push you the cheap box.
Well, yeah, if it was like the 1800s. I mean,
Wow.
they didn't have. I mean,
You had a cheap box.
yeah.
Wow. This could
What do you think they had in the 1600s?
But,
Paul? I mean,
they had slots between it.
huh?
There wouldn't have been slots between it. It would have been together.
Well,
Wow.
maybe I was poor like this year. Like
Yeah,
this.
I think maybe that's probably what it was. Maybe you were one of those guys that just hung out. And, who is this guy? Throw him in a box.
Could have been.
Yeah, could have been.
I don't know. So anyway, that's
That's
Yeah, just-
extreme it.
no,
Oh, okay.
there wasn't any.
Oh, I got you.
So I don't know. I just figured, you know, that was a weird story, but
Yeah.
that's been that's a real thing. You know, streaming funerals, and it happens, and I call it a necessary evil, just because it has to happen, you know, for people to be able to participate
Mhm.
these days. Not everybody is going to participate
I think
because
it's a good idea. I really do.
so yeah, I thought it was too. So
Mhm.
I'll have to see what happens as it continues.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, the other thing we got going on here, and I had said to you a while ago, and Joanne, if you're still here, you know about this. We're getting out of the local shirt business. Not doing any more local shirts. And we're gonna sell off the ones that we do have.
Mhm.
And weird, but since I announced that, I've sold more shirts local than I ever have, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm gonna get out of it. I'm still gonna get out of it.
Yep.
You know, so, but yeah, the whole local thing I have found really just doesn't
Doesn't work.
work out. Doesn't, you know. The only thing that works local is sports.
Yeah.
That's really about it. You know, I
Yeah,
mean, people will go ahead and participate and watch sports, but anything else? And, you know, that's all right. I mean, people are used to getting their whatever, you know, in certain places.
Mhm.
And that's okay. I mean, like I said, we're going to do topical type stuff, you know, and still have guests in, you know, in the mornings and,
Yep.
and that, but the whole time of, you know, spending hours and hours collecting news and reporting we're done with that. We are done. We're going to focus on other things now, like streaming funerals. Joanne, yeah, they are. You know, I thought they were nice shirts too. So here's the thing. Of the shirts that we have, if you go on my personal profile, you'll see them. It's about 4 or 5 posts down. Because I don't really post a lot, but it's about 4 or 5 posts down, and it shows all of the local stuff that we have. And some I have left, some I don't. I mean, your best is really, if you're interested in any of them, just go ahead and ask me. They were They were 22 to 25 bucks. Now they're all at 15. But not only that, but I got a ton of Hillfest shirts, from the concert events that we did in town. Got a whole boatload of those.
Yep.
And I'm just giving those away with a purchase of a shirt. So Joanne, how many shirts? You bought like 6 or 7 or something like that. But she walked out of here with like 20 shirts.
Yeah.
Some of them were tie-dye. Some, just.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Because I want to go ahead and get rid of them.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Huh?
Yeah. That'll be a collector's item in the future.
No, I don't think so. I think it'll be rags for people to wash floors. Hey, wash this. It says SNSN. What's that? No, they're nothing. Just go ahead, scrub.
Oh well.
All right. Court has an opinion on the whole streaming thing.
Okay.
I'm going to read it to you. I can understand streaming for the relatives and friends unable to attend. I would hope it does not diminish the number of people attending in person. The wake or funeral is for the living. The tears, hugs, memories, laughter, and emotional support is all part of the grieving healing process. Nothing replaces the human touch. You're absolutely right.
But even wakes now, remember, a wake used to be like 3 days. If you think about it,
Well, they still do that. Native American ones are still.
I mean, no, they're cut back. I think
well, maybe now. I remember, I remember just, from being married to a Native American woman, and they'd call, they'd do the call or something like that, and then they'd sit there for anyway.
Yeah, but I in the old days, I mean, a wake would be, it'd be an afternoon wake, and it'd be a night wake, and then the next day it'd be another wake. It's got to the point now where I think a lot of people just, it's one and out. That's it. If that, and basically, if it's an old person, most likely they won't even be awake.
Depends. Every family is different, and how they want to do that.
Let's face it, when you get an elderly person who's up there, 85, 90, 90, whatever, they just don't have the friends and around anymore.
No, but they do have extended family that could be all over the world. Like, so for example, yesterday, the one we did yesterday, I mean, Court, this will really fit right into, your description, of what you say. And I agree with it.
Yeah.
There were about 150 people in attendance.
Yeah.
But since this family was from Uganda, it was being streamed back there, and that was the reason why they wanted it streamed.
That makes sense.
Because they wanted their family and friends in Uganda to be able to, take part. I streamed a renewal of vows. It was a whole wedding, so it was beautiful and everything. It was a 40th anniversary, and the food afterwards was spot on. But I did that, and the reason why, and the only reason why, is because their parents, who were both that were still with us, could not travel. Gotcha. One was in upstate New York, and I think the other was in Florida. And that was the whole reason why they streamed it, not because of anything else. It was because, their family was away.
Yeah.
So I guess, Court, yesterday, to your point, it did not inhibit people that wanted to come in person, because there were quite a few people, and there were quite a few people on the stream too.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
and he was a young boy.
Yeah.
He was 12. He was a young man. He was 23.
Yeah. Because a lot of times what they do is after the cremation, if somebody gets cremated, generally that's a private thing, and then later on they'll have something, week or month after the person had died, they'll do a special service for that.
But I've never had anybody approach me that they want to go ahead and have it streamed just so they can have a video record of it.
No,
every single one. No, I'm not saying you did.
No, what I'm saying is I never really understood. Well, people took pictures in the funeral home.
Well, let's go back to what Court said. the wake and the funeral are for the living. They're not for the dead.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
So that for some people, that's a memorable thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I would. I've never taken pictures at a funeral.
Me either.
I've never taken pictures
Me either.
of anything. And I haven't been to many funerals, for my own family or anything. I mean, my mother, who passed away 20 years ago, I didn't take any pictures of that or anything. I mean, I didn't choose to, myself personally, I didn't choose to remember her that way.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people would feel the same way, but I can't speak for everybody.
Yeah. But yeah, some people, they take pictures. I just could never get over the picture taking myself.
Okay. No, this conversation is really going into a different direction than I thought it would today, but that's okay. That's why I put in there open forum. What do you want to talk about? Come have coffee with us. Yeah. Daryl says, why an open casket? Why do you want to remember the person in that way?
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that's part of the grieving process for some people. My mother's funeral was a closed casket. Everything she did not want. She goes, I don't want people staring at me. That's exactly what she said. She goes, I don't want people looking at me.
Yeah.
So
usually the visitation at the funeral parlor is usually an open casket, but once it leaves the funeral parlor, it's closed.
Yeah.
And not open.
Well, I have walked into funeral homes before where nothing's going on. It's middle afternoon,
Yeah,
and I had
his body sitting there.
And there's the casket's open, and whatever.
Yeah.
Laura says some cultures are different, and taking pictures is normal at funerals. This family yesterday was Ugandan. We don't know what their culture is, So.
Yeah. So.
Let's see. Sarah, Brenda, Debbie Deb, thank you for the Facebook love by clicking the heart. And Lisa, Susie, and Laura, thanks for clicking like. We appreciate that. One of the things that happens on the Facebook algorithm and happens on most social media algorithms is that the more people that comment and the more people that go ahead and participate by clicking like or whatever, we'll go ahead and it'll push it out to more people. That's why a lot of times you see new people filtering in throughout the broadcast and stuff like that, because it may have not gone into their feed first.
Gotcha.
So, back in the day, it was common to have portraits done of the dead. That is spot on. That's Cindy who said that.
Wow.
And there are. That's true.
Really?
Yeah, they would do complete portraits.
Well, I've never seen the portraits done.
But neither have I. I mean, well, I've seen them. I've never seen them done. But here's another thing that I have heard of as far as funerals are concerned. There's a new way. The hell is that? Is that guy on a bike?
I don't know.
Yes, that guy. I've had I've heard of and have seen videos of funerals where the body is not actually in the casket. They position them either standing or sitting in a chair, like you would have remembered them. Like there was one guy I remember, and he was I guess a rapper, a local guy or whatever, and he was standing there in a suit with chains, dark sunglasses on, with his hands crossed like this, looking down, like you would normally see a rapper, but he was standing. There was a lady I saw. She was sitting in a chair with her legs crossed. So, I mean,
Well,
Is that right or wrong?
yeah,
I think it depends on the family.
You've heard people getting buried sitting on their motorcycle.
Huh?
You've heard people sitting on a motorcycle and getting buried on a motorcycle. I've heard of that before too. Person sitting on a motorcycle.
Oh yeah. I've heard people getting buried in their car.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then of course, in the old days, if you were outlaw, you'd be in the front of a general store sitting in the casket. So where you look at you.
Laura says weekend at Bernie's.
There you go.
And Victoria says, prop me up by the jukebox when I die. God.
Yeah. Well, I think more and more now we're getting away from casket burials and going into the.
Are we getting away from casket burials because of tradition, or are we getting away from casket burials because of cost?
Well, cost could be a factor, but a lot of people have the. I don't want to be put in a box. Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, how much is a conventional funeral these days? $15,000-$20,000?
Well, it's at least 10. But I think
at least,
yeah, at least when you get, you take away the casket and all the fancy stuff, it's
no calling hours and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I understand that. That's why I'm saying, or is it cost?
It could be,
or is it that's just the way?
Well,
some people just want to be private, and they deserve that if that's what they want.
Well, are they running out of room too? Are they running out of room to bury people?
I don't think so. I think there's plenty of space.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Daryl says, I want a weekend at Bernie's theme for my funeral. Just move me around so I can enjoy the event.
Yeah.
That's a little morbid there, Daryl.
Yeah, for headstone, I'm going to put a big laptop there.
Sit him at a desk like he's fixing a computer. Yeah.
It's a laptop.
But I mean, there are families that want to stick to the traditional route.
Yes.
And that's very classy and but it's a very classy kind of way to do it.
I think a lot of older people prefer the casket.
Okay.
And let's face it, a lot of older people have already paid for their funerals.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the biggest thing is how we got into this conversation was about how we started talking about how we started streaming funerals, because of the necessity during COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as everybody grieves differently, they grieve the way they want to. I've had people tell me, do this, and I would look, do it this way. I'm like, don't tell me how to do it. I'm going to do it my way, just like you do it your way. And the funeral is part of that process. Whether you're doing it alone. I mean, I have been to funerals or stream them where there was one person in attendance.
Yeah.
It was the guy's son, and that was it.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, I like to say, a lot of people who they don't have relatives that are still live. They come from a small family, and there may not be anybody.
How about this? Calling hours. Calling hours, and I've thought about this for a while. I'm kind of wondering, is that another way to pay your respects to the family privately? I mean, not really privately, but one-on-one.
Yeah.
For people that won't be able to make the actual service.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who go who attend the funeral parlor and then they just can't make the service.
Right.
But what they're doing, a lot of times what they do today is the only time they really have the funeral parlor is generally the morning of the funeral. You go there a little early and you go to the funeral parlor early, and it's all in one shot, usually not the night before. I've seen it done that way too.
I've seen it. I still see it both ways.
Yeah, see, it depends on how they want to do it. Yeah.
Every family's different.
Yeah.
Every family's different the way they want to structure it.
Yeah.
And they should be able to do that. That it's for, just like Court said, it's for the living.
Yeah.
Funerals are. They're not for the dead.
And I think it depends on the age of the individual. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, I think,
In what way?
well, I think a younger person who passes away, I think you're going to find that they're going to want to have a couple. They're going to want to have a nighttime thing, so that a lot of, because they're going to have a lot more friends, a lot more, a lot more people that are going to want to see them.
Yesterday's event was a 23-year-old young man. It wasn't like anything that you're describing.
Well,
that you think that they would want. It was very traditional.
Yeah, but
very much so.
Yeah, but no,
I don't know. I kind of want. I kind of think, and this is just me kind of shooting from the hip, that people they take into consideration what the person that just passed would have wanted.
Yeah.
And they celebrate them based on that. Some people do that. Again, there's no manual that says this is how you do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I've talked to Tommy Leffler about it.
Yeah.
Says, he said, Mike, because everybody is different. Everybody and you do the best that you can to accommodate because people are hurt.
Sure they are.
And they're sad, and you want to console them the best that you can. I've never spoken to anybody over, I have over at Gagne, but I'm sure their views are probably pretty much in line with that. So
there was a funeral at Gagne's last week that if you drove by there, it was like, wow.
There are some, like, for example, back when TJ Sumner passed.
Yeah.
Whew, that was it was beautiful to see. It was beautiful to see. We waited in line over an hour. Yeah. To get in, to pay our respects.
Sure.
Same thing with Donna Gear, Al Gear's lovely wife.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, I'd be lucky if I get 3 or 4 people who even show up.
Yeah, I ain't going.
I'm gonna have to pay them.
Let me stream it.
I can stream it on the morning show.
Here's Paul. Guess he won't be coming in on Monday.
Nope.
Why did you choose to have your burial down in Old Saybrook?
Because the plot's already there.
Okay, but why did you choose Old Saybrook?
I didn't choose.
Oh.
No, I didn't choose.
Oh, Ginny chose.
She chose. She comes from there.
Oh, okay.
And what happened was they have a plot, and because the plot did not have a coffin, it was ashes.
Okay.
There's still a whole bunch of room there. So when we go down to visit her mother,
yes.
Hey, let's get this grass cleaned up.
God bless her. Lived to what, 101, 102? Yeah.
Yeah. So when we go down there, we bring the rake and we clean it up.
Yeah. I stop at my mom's, in Griswold and kind of prune it up a little bit and pull weeds and
sure.
Yeah. And again, that's for me. That's not she don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, she may be watching,
yeah.
but
yeah.
Victoria says I had my mom cremated. We now include her in our family parties and get-togethers. She is kept with her favorite seasonal decorations. She's getting ready for the fall changeover right now.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, see, every family does it differently.
Yep.
And the grieving process, of course, goes from I'm really sad to I'm really mad to I'm really depressed to, that was kind of funny that they used to say to, you remember when, but that takes some time.
Yeah.
And everybody takes, believe me, I'm not a huge proponent on this, or not proponent, but I mean,
well,
I don't know, the science of it, but I just know how it went for me.
Well, the other thing you got to remember too, a lot of people get their pet cremated. They have a lot of pets been with them for a lot of years, so when they get married, and they get cremated, they put the pet in the same.
My daughter has a pendant with her bunny.
There you go.
Her bunny was cremated.
Yeah.
So which she has.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Weird conversation today.
Wow.
Funerals and wakes. And
Yeah. Wow. It's already almost time to go.
it all started with, because it all started with you making a comment.
Oh, yeah.
And then we just kind of went off from there. That's one of the things about this, we can structure it and we can go ahead and present an outline for every show we do every morning, but that gets boring.
Yeah.
That gets boring. Now, are you going to get cremated, or are you going to? So you're going to be cremated, all right? Okay.
Judy,
I don't know why I needed to know that.
Yeah, Judy doesn't want to be in a box.
See, I don't either.
No,
I don't either.
I think a lot of people today think they don't want to be in a coffin. They want to be in yeah.
I told my mother years ago. I said, "Put me in a mausoleum and leave it unlocked." She said, "Why?" I said, "In case I want to get out."
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was when I first came up with the line. They said, "Well, you'll be dead." And I'm like, "How do you know? Have you ever been dead before?" So
Yeah.
They don't know.
Yep.
We don't know.
Yeah.
The only thing that helps you decipher that is your faith.
Yeah.
You believe in whatever your faith is.
Well, that's the other thing.
Right.
Talk about faith.
Yeah.
The Catholic Church didn't allow cremations for a long time.
Mhm.
When you went into the church, you couldn't be cremated. That's where they put you in a coffin, and then when they take you out of the coffin, then they would cremate you. Well, that's all changed now. Now the churches finally come up to.
Couldn't get divorced either, or at least they wouldn't allow it.
I don't even know if that's changed, to be honest.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
But again, that's faith. That is all part of somebody's personal faith structure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it right? Is it wrong? Depends on the individual.
Yeah.
No,
you're right.
Those are one of those things that you just have to. That's what they believe, and it's their beliefs. Even if you don't believe it.
Yeah.
If you're stoically against it.
Yep.
Nope. Doesn't matter. It's their beliefs, and that's the way it should be.
So years
Respect
ago,
that.
Years ago, you had casket rental.
Really?
Well, you had to put you in the casket, take it in the church.
We mean before the cremation?
Yeah.
See, I don't even think
They
do
didn't
that.
allow it.
I don't even think they do
Now
that
it's
anymore.
different. Now they put the urn inside.
Yeah.
But they find, like I said, that's the way it was back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So when you go to the funeral parlor, you got to use.
You know what I found? I found out yesterday. Like, you hear the term 6 feet under, right? Well, I was the guy that was doing the services from the graveside yesterday.
Yeah.
And I went over and I looked, and I'm like, "That's not 6 feet."
No.
The guy goes, "Yeah, they're generally not."
No.
And I said, he goes, "Yeah, it's like 4 or 5."
Yeah, they put you in a concrete block.
Yeah. I guess it's a state of Connecticut thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a vault.
There's the vault.
Then they come over and they put the top on it. And
Exactly.
So you ain't getting out.
Nope.
Unless you're superhuman.
Yeah.
But then again, who knows?
Right.
We just don't know, Paul. There's a lot of unanswered questions.
A lot of unanswered. Yeah.
You want to have your funeral streamed?
No.
See? There you go.
No.
Yeah.
Not really.
No.
No.
All right. So I want to drastically change subjects real quick. One of the things that we had talked about earlier today is that we are getting out of the shirt business. All the local shirts and everything, sayonara. They're going away. And we have a whole bunch of Hillfest shirts, from our concert events. So if you buy one of our shirts, go to my Facebook page and you'll see them there. There are the local vampire shirts and shirts about the borough, just a whole bunch of stuff. And if you want to go ahead and get one of those, you'll get some Hillfest shirts for free.
Yep. So
even had yesterday, I had somebody say, "Hey, I need a hoodie and I need a shirt." And I'm like, "Well, let me check if I have it left," So that's the D. So if you do want any of those, I have a few left. The biggest challenges are what sizes, because somebody wants a shirt and it's like, they want extra large, and I only got a medium left, and that one, it's like, well, whatever. So
So I got a
Check it
question-
out.
I got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
What's a duck's favorite ballet?
What is a duck's favorite ballet? I got a feeling it's got something to do with quack.
Quack?
Quack, quack. All right, Paul. What is a duck's favorite ballet? I almost said buffet. Ballet.
The Nutcracker.
Ah, the Nutcracker. All right. Go to my profile and buy a shirt, will you? And stop with the dad jokes. Paul's got a dad joke every day. All right, so you're going to be back tomorrow with Chris, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow is Friday. Ask Chris anything. And we will see you as well tomorrow morning. I don't know, 8 o'clock or so, whenever the hell we decide to get up. You never know. You just never know.
Never know.
All right. Have a good day, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at SNSN.
Not completing high school was a social thing, but it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.